What's the first moment you realized life wasn't fair as a child? When I was 8, my mom took me to the traveling carnival that rolled into our tiny town once a year. It was the highlight of my summer. I'd been saving my allowance in a plastic jar with a duct-taped label that said carnival money, carefully rationing out my snack spending for weeks so I could have as much as possible when the big day came. I had $17.25 saved, and I was ready to blow it all. The place smelled like popcorn, grease, and cotton candy. Every booth blinked with colorful lights and music that felt louder than it needed to be. Kids were walking around holding those massive stuffed animals almost the size of their own bodies, and I wanted one of those more than anything in the world. First stop, the basketball shooting game. 3 shots for $5. The teenage guy running it looked bored, leaning against the railing like he'd rather be anywhere else. He saw me looking and perked up. 3 shots, he said, and if you make 1 basket, you get a prize from the top shelf. Anyone you want. I looked up at the wall. Giant teddy bears, dragons, unicorns. But my eyes locked on this huge, ridiculous purple giraffe with glittery eyes and floppy legs. That was the one. I handed over my carefully folded $5 bill, gripping the basketball with both hands. First shot, miss, way off. Second shot, closer, but still no dice. My heart pounded as I lined up the third. I took a deep breath, bent my knees, just like my PE teacher showed us during hoops week, and let it fly. The ball bounced on the rim, rolled around once, and dropped in. I stared. My mouth dropped open. I'd actually done it. I turned to the guy behind the booth, beaming. I made it! He crossed his arms and shrugged. Rim shot. Doesn't count. Gotta go in clean. I blinked. What? But it went in. That's a basket. He shook his head like he didn't care. Rules are rules, kid. My mom, who'd been standing off to the side with a snow cone, walked over. Excuse me? She said, voice tight. That ball went in. The guy called for his manager. Out waddled this guy who looked like he hadn't washed his uniform shirt in a week. Greasy hair, cigarette dangling from his lip even though there were signs everywhere that said no smoking. He didn't even make eye contact. Rim shots don't count, he mumbled. It's on the sign. My mom looked around, then pointed. What sign? There's no sign. He snorted and walked away like we weren't even worth the breath. I felt my throat tighten. I wasn't mad. I was heartbroken. I'd done everything right. I'd saved my money, played fair, even made the basket, but I wasn't getting the prize. On the ride home, I sat in the back seat holding my empty wallet and biting my lip so hard it hurt. My mom kept glancing at me in the mirror, trying to come up with something comforting to say. After a long silence, she said, "Sometimes people cheat, honey. They make up rules to get what they want. It's not fair, and it's not right, but it happens." I didn't say anything. I just kept thinking about that purple giraffe and how it should have been mine. 2 weeks later, I walked into class and stopped cold. There it was, the giraffe, sitting on my teacher's desk like it owned the place. I stared at it for so long, she noticed. "Oh, this?" she said, grinning. "My boyfriend won it for me at the carnival last weekend. He runs one of the games there." I didn't say a word. I just nodded and went to my seat. That was the moment it really sunk in. Sometimes people win by being connected, or because they know the right person, or because the game was never fair to begin with. And no matter how hard you try or how good you are, it might not be enough.